on. Boom. There you go. Good stuff. Done this before. Welcome everybody to LinkedIn for Breakfast. Fantastic to have you all along for the journey today. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn posts. What makes a great post? How do you actually get more people viewing your content, interacting with your content, and of course, then how can your content provoke people to take their next step in your journey? And that's what we're trying to do today. And we're going to use a little bit of audience interaction. Normally, how this works, I riff for sort of 5-10 minutes, show some ideas, bring in some other thoughts from the room, and come together with a bit of a knowledge bundle for you all by the end of it. Fantastic to see you all here today, particularly our returners and also our newbies. Okay, so
We'll just wait some minutes. We'll have him back. I think his internet was hurting. In the meantime, I think if you are not part of our school community, I should just share the link so you can join us. He's back now.
so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there, but can you hear me okay now? Okay, all right. Well, there you go. That's first time for something. Okay, so I think we're back. We're rolling. Good stuff. Give me thumbs up if you can hear me. Still here? Okay, right. Just keeping you on your toes, of course. Right. So let me try and do that again and share screens. And we will go for this. Right. So here we go. Perfect. Okay. So can we see the presentation? Okay, give me another couple of thumbs up. Just making sure. Yes, wicked. Okay. So what makes a great LinkedIn post? So before we start, just to kind of give you a bit of a flavor for our mission here at LinkedIn for Breakfast, particularly for people who are coming for the first time, we don't normally cut off at the start for these sessions. At LinkedIn for Breakfast, our goal here is to make this the best place on the planet for entrepreneurs to unlock the full potential of LinkedIn as a powerful tool for business, both in like a lead generation business development route, as well as brand expansion. And so that's the game plan for this. And we want to do it entirely for free, right? So that's what you've got here as part of Link to Breakfast. And there's an amazing community. Flora, if you could just put the link to the Link to Breakfast community. If you're not part of this, and we're about to hit 2,000 members, there's so many free pieces of content in there. There's 5-day challenges in there that you can join. There's also these sessions recorded. There's other specific content in there and an amazing community. We run a pod every Tuesday to help you boost your posts. So do jump into there. Again, it costs my favorite number, which is free. Cool. Agenda free. So we're going to review algorithm changes within LinkedIn that's going to have a an impact on actually what you're trying to do with your posts. And then we're going to look at what the ideas are, or ideas that we can share that will help you to edit your current marketing and posts in there. Okay. So first of all, why post on LinkedIn? LinkedIn publishes a social selling index, an SSI score, and this is actually given by LinkedIn and is data that you can analyze your LinkedIn against and actually get a score out of 100 for. And content is a massive part of that, and the engagement within that content is a massive part of that. Here's how you do it. And if you just Google LinkedIn Social Selling Index, or use this link here, which I can just chuck into the chat as well for you now, if that helps. Let me just kind of copy and paste it. Oh, hello, and do this and put that into the chat. You can either go straight onto that, or you can just Google, LinkedIn SSI score, and you can actually get yourself and find out what your score is from that. And so what that does, it gives you a bit of insight on what LinkedIn sees in terms of your profile, right? So this is my profile, and at the moment you can see the different scores in it. Now, for fun, you could just put your score in the chat if you wanted to, just because it's quite a fun thing to be able to share to show you've actually done it and had a look at it. And one of the big things here is around establish your professional brand. Okay. And so that is a score that actually relates to things like posting and getting replies and engagement on posts. So super, super important. And that's why this is part of actually increasing their score that we're going to talk about today. Cool. So algorithm changes then. So when we think about approaching this, we need to look at these algorithm changes. Now, the slide I'm about to show you actually is an older slide, but it was from a big LinkedIn update that they've done. If you want this slide, by the way, it's actually part of the post that promoted this event today. It's in the group. You'll be able to see it. It's pinned at the top of the group. You can just actually grab this and copy and paste this within the LinkedIn for Breakfast group. And these are just the changes. Now, this is sort of late in 2022, but the reason why this is a significant diagram is that it's one of the few times you had two of the developers within LinkedIn actually discussing how the algorithm works and the change they did. They never talk about that in public ever. And so this is why this was a landmark moment in us who like to kind of hack, if you like, LinkedIn. And so these are significant things that they are suggesting that you should think about for your post. Now, let me kind of sort of break this down a little bit into bits that I think is totally important. So top left, when we're thinking about posting is not enough, they're talking about this needing to nurture people before and after a post. And so what that means, if you actually think about this from what we like to call the 15-minute rule. So if you're going to push out a piece of content, 15 minutes before, jump onto LinkedIn, start commenting, liking other people's posts, interacting, sending some connection request messages out, then drop your post and post your post. Then 15 minutes after you've posted your post, spend another 15 liking and commenting and talking to people. That becomes your 30 minutes a day. And actually, the nice thing about that is your 30 minutes becomes maybe your LinkedIn time block each day. So if you did like a 30 minutes a day LinkedIn, you had a post that you wanted to post, and you did some of your LinkedIn connectioning messaging, you did some of your liking, commenting, you replied to other people's comments, that's going to give your post the biggest push because LinkedIn's seeing you as an active person. So that's really, really important, right? And then the next thing is around actually the comments thing. So responding to comments within 1 hour is going to help the post get about a 20% reach as well. And you can see here top right, they're saying for every comment you receive, you will reach an extra 4% of your own network and 3% of the network of the person that commenting, right? As long as you are actually receiving comments and you personally are then also looking after those comments and commenting back, right? So that can really help. And things like we use the LinkedIn pod every Tuesday within LinkedIn for Breakfast. That's a way of us actually helping the algorithm. So instead of you just posting and then going and commenting everybody else, why don't you comment for 15 minutes of other people's stuff, post yours, then comment 15 minutes on other people's stuff. That will help. Great stuff. And then if you want to edit your post, you can wait for 10 minutes before editing. Selfies and you've probably seen this on LinkedIn before, they're driving 3 times more engagement, up to 2.5 times more reach. Now, don't overuse selfies, but it's definitely something that could help. There is another piece that I'm going to be talking about in terms of video, and video content has really, really helped as well. So that can be useful. Now, consistency is key, right? So bottom left. So if you're posting regularly, a minimum of 2 posts a week is bare minimum, right? And so it's really, really important to build that consistency. Now, I think once a day is great because you're accessing whoever's accessing LinkedIn that day and actually doing a decent amount of work on that each day. But look, at least twice a week is super important, right? Okay, and then use more than 3 hashtags, but less than 10 in terms of hashtags, and also create a personal hashtag. So you can tag your name in there. So then you become the highest ranking Mike Stevenson when people are searching for you, as opposed to all the other ones, right? So using your personal brand in there, that could be super important, right? And then make sure if you're going to tag people into the post that they're actually going to actually reply to your post. Otherwise, it does slow down the growth of the post. So you see lots of people tagging a load of people into their post to try and get engagement up. If those people don't go on to comment or like that post, that will drive down the speed of the reach on that post. Cool. And then just lengths, aim for 1,200 to 1,600 characters per post. If you're doing a very content heavy post, there's kind of nuances around that if you're doing more video, but look, you can always put text within your post. So it's well worth still, even if it is a video, putting some context around that with your text. Okay. So it's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of the algorithm changes in here, and some very interesting elements, I hope you agree, that will help you to type and improve upon what you're doing on LinkedIn. So let's just share 4 of my ideas, and then we get some ideas from the room in terms of other things that can help with your LinkedIn posting. So this is kind of a classic one, but it's important to go back and actually readdress the concept of a headline within your posts, making sure that you are using headlines or trying to use images that have big headlines that can really help. Things like statistics. People love statistics, bit of data behind your post, and making sure you reference that data. We'll show you that in a second on another post, but referencing your data sources can really help. Inspirational, motivational quotes can always be of help. Asking questions of your audience in the headline can help. How-to offering, so how to do X, how to do Y, that can really help. Humor as well is fantastic for when you're thinking about your headline. And the last 2, so compelling statements. So something that is a big statement that makes people go, okay, what's that about? And then, of course, clickbaity headlines. What do I mean by clickbait? But it's that kind of classic, not revealing everything, but making it kind of interesting enough for doing it. So, yeah, this is the things that Elon Musk wouldn't want you to know, right? ... And so it's very clickbaity. Okay. Cool. So making sure that you still use headlines, even if it is in posts or on images. The next thing, and this is Laura Tupu, who's a $1 million sprinter. She does great content. If you want to see a good example of someone who's putting out some amazing content, she does really well with her content. And so she asks questions of her reader. You can see some great emojis coming in here to really show, so what is empathy? You can see how this question mark really just pings out these questions. And so that helps people to work their eye through the post. And then, of course, as she's using things like quotations, she's referencing the person who's doing the quotation and tagging them into the post. And so, of course, let's just take this first one, Kim here, who's the first reference. If you are using a quotation from them and tagging them in, the likelihood is that they may add to it. And if you are using an influencer, then an influencer commenting on a post that you've just posted actually will give you the reach into their network. Remember, we talked about if you're getting replies and comments, you're going to get that extra 4% reach into their network. That would be really useful, and also backs up the fact that, wow, okay, an influencer has messaged, because this type of post is the type of thing someone would like to comment on if I've been referenced in there because it's a very well put together post. Um, Again, those questions that say they really ping out. It helps that I go through, and there's another survey in there using data. So this is just a really nice example of using data, using questions, tagging in influencers. Lovely type of post, using emojis, links in the comments below. That's another important thing. Don't put the links in your main post, because if you're linking out to LinkedIn, LinkedIn doesn't want that. LinkedIn wants to keep everybody within the walled garden. So what Laura is doing here is she's linking to Kim's LinkedIn profile, keeps people in the walled garden, doesn't affect the reach of the post because she's not linking outside of LinkedIn. Same with the Ernst & Young link. That's to a company page, not linking outside of LinkedIn, keeping within LinkedIn, but still referencing those pages and those influencers with the view that they might then come and comment on it. Really, really smart. And then, of course, when she does want to talk about a link, there's a link in the comments below, not in the actual post. Super, super example of a very fine post there. And it did very well as well, by the way. Here's another good example of story. So the third one, penultimate suggestion. Here's from Lizzie, again, does really, really well. So this is about her. She came on our $1 million sprint retreat. We climbed up Snowdon, and it happened to be gale, like a gale, where she was going up. So she's all about resilience, and actually she put a post out here which looked like this on the right hand side. So you always have this see more, and when you press see more, bam, the whole post comes down, right? So she's led with a headline. Have you had your resilience tested recently? That's a headline. People click more and they'll read more. And then she's got some amazing pictures of her and the story of climbing Snowdon and how that related back to her military career, etc. In here. And then really nice post. You can see just by scanning it, it's easy to read, short sentences, gaps, emojis in there. Really kind of punchy things. I know it's very small, you can't read it, but the whole point of this is to see the visual representation of how the makeup of a good post should look, in terms of humans like to see that punchy stuff. We're scrolling, we want to see it quickly. So you'll draw people into a story by not having massive blocks of text. You need those gaps in there. And again, she's got 4 hashtags at the bottom, and then she's got some further content and call to actions, etc. in there. So again, a really good post, worked really well, using a story, telling a story, and a selfie in there as well, which has really helped. Cool. So the final suggestion here is share videos. Now, here's Christian Harris, and there's some very, he does well, $1 million sprinter Christian Harris. He has got, obviously, you can see here with some videos, 179 likes and comments, 213 there, 240, 190. So there's a few things in there. So what his video strategy is, taking like little meme type videos, and I'll show you one here. Actually, we'll just go on to LinkedIn. And the types of videos, this is Christian's profile here. If we go onto his posts and go and look at videos, the types of videos are just simple videos. He does health and safety consulting. And if you look here, he's grabbed this off the internet, found this from somewhere on the internet. It's just simply someone talking about something in his thing. And it's a bit of a funny, like it's, who's ultimately responsible for health and safety? And it's a cupboard that opens a mirror, right? It's a bit funny, but it's kind of something that people go, haha, it's a like, right? It's a funny post. It's something that works well, but he's then used it to make a point that relates to his business. So he's using a viral-esque video that he's then made fit. Now, this is a very obvious, like, related to his industry video. But if we just go back, let me just show you one that he's used that isn't obvious, but yet when you read it, it's good, right? So he's grabbed something off of HSC professionals returning from a short break, and it's a picture. I think this is from Pirates of the Caribbean, and he's just grabbed this little thing here, and it's fun, right? And so it's a nice video that works well. So it's those memes, and he has a VA that he just literally just takes a link from somewhere else that he's seen a meme type video, sends it to them, tells them what the post is, They then screen record it, grab it, stick it onto his post, and then use that to be able to get the virality of that. And it works well. Now, for the keen eye among you, so if I look at videos, what's the thing that you're noticing in terms of his videos? And if I just show you here, what's the interesting thing about how he's posting this? What's the thing that's slightly unusual that you're seeing? Who can see it? That's it. So he's posting the same thing 4 times here and 4 times here. And or even 5 times here. So why do you think he's doing that? And the answer is that he's finding, so people are saying repetition, great, repetition is short. Yeah, really good idea, short time. So the reason why he's actually doing that is he's using the same piece of content on his profile. So you can tell the ones that's on his profile because you can see the views and the comments, but he's also then posting into groups. So he's part of groups where he can post. So because I'm not part of those groups, I can't see the likes and comments on the ones he's posting into his groups. And so what he's doing, he's got target groups that he's looking to be able to lead generate in. And he's using what we would call a Trojan horse type of content. Oh, that sounds flashy, doesn't it? So a Trojan horse is essentially a piece of content that is designed to be dropped into a group that is going to get engagement, like comments, feedback, and people are going to be talking about it with the post. Now, what that means is the group owners are going to allow you to put it in there. It doesn't seem like a threatening post. You're not trying to sell your own stuff. But of course, anybody who's liking and commenting on that, he can then go and actually connect with those people, message them, say, hey, thanks for liking and commenting my post. Anyway, how's things? What's your kind of, what do you do within health and safety or whatever it is? And then, of course, now he's in the conversation. So he's essentially putting his horse in people's group, and then his band of Greek or it was the Greeks, wasn't it? Or Trojans. No, it was the Trojans. His band of Trojans are going out and lead generating throughout those poor those poor groups, and that's the whole point. So you're dropping off a viral type content into groups. You're then using that to be able to grow your connections and start conversations. So really, really cool tactic there for lead generation into specific groups. Because I don't know if about you guys, but most of those groups are just, if they're getting spammed by lots of links, then it's a bad group. It's probably not going to go anywhere. If the group has no promotional stuff within that, then it's a well-maintained group, but it's hard to then promote your own stuff in it. And so therefore the Trojan horse works well for decent groups, right? Good. But that's my sinister, like mini me type thing. So you can take your own opinion on actually doing that or not. So that is 4 of my ideas. Now, what I want to do, just very quickly, just before we kind of open up, I'd just like to get the idea from the room of 2 or 3 other ideas. So don't get nervous. It's all good. It's all part of networking and meeting other people. And so stay on. We're only going to do it for 3 minutes. I'm going to throw you guys into breakout rooms. And I would love each breakout room, there's only 4 of you, to have one idea that they've seen that's worked well on LinkedIn for posting, or one idea they can share with the group that helps. And so just for 3 minutes, stay with us. And then after this, I'm going to then give you guys the opportunity for me personally to review your LinkedIn profile and content strategy with a one-to-one with me completely for free, but only if you stick around to the end. Cool. Right. So breakout rooms coming. There's going to be 4 of you, and we are going to see you in 3 minutes. Catch you later, guys. Okay. So just say yes and then jump into the rooms. Okay. Good stuff.
Sorry, Richard, I didn't mean to come out.
I can reassign you.
Yeah,
Two
yeah, yeah.
seconds.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Okay, broadcast that. And where have you gone? You are.
I was in room 4.
Oh, how do I
Oh, I
assign?
can. No, I can see it. I can see join breakout room. So I'll get back into room 4.
Okay, good
Got
stuff.
it.
Go for it. Fantastic. Okay. Mhm. So if you are still on here, um, ideally join a waiting room. Join a Hey Manjula, how you doing? Did we lose you out the room?
Yeah, it wasn't your fault. It was my charger went and then trying to log back in. It joined a different Wi-Fi. So yeah, I'm back.
You're back. No worries, no worries. Well, we're just breaking the breakout rooms back into the main foyer, if you like, and then we're going to share a tip from each room to further kind of foster our conversation and knowledge of how events work, really.
I have a question actually, Richard, that I didn't manage to ask, which was using AI to sort your text out, because it offers you that, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, yes, when you're using the LinkedIn AI piece. Okay, cool. We'll tackle that at the end of this in the question round. Definitely, it's a good shout. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Are we all back in? I think we're all back in. Let me just double
No,
check.
the light's in here.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
no worries, Rebecca. I think we are all back in. I'm going to say yes, we are. Great stuff. Well, well done, guys. So what I want to do is just take a tip from each of the forums. So we're looking for people to put your hand up like this, so we can line the four of you up across the top. If you are the spokesperson from your room, Leslie's perfectly demonstrating that now. We're looking for 3 more spokespeople. If there wasn't a spokesperson chose, then please do just self-nominate if you know one of the tips from the room. Thank you very much, Steve. And we're looking for 2 more. So why don't we start with Leslie as the other 2 people decide to jump in and share from their room. So Leslie, from your room, what was your one tip that you want to share with the group?
We had loads, so I'll be really quick. Story with a real life lesson that people resonate with. Well, Andrew and Gary talked about push with a link to services, 5 seconds to grab your attention. Lyndon thought that an executive summary at the beginning and humour works. Headlines and paragraphs. Certainly, as one member of our group with a really shock headliner and a photograph got 579 likes and 200 comments.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Love it. Thank you so much, Leslie. There's some great ideas. So humor, executive summary, a bit of a shocking headline. I heard some people saying that one of their headlines that had a swear word in it, although it was using exclamation marks, did particularly well. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. I love that. Great. Okay, so Steve, let's jump to you next. Do you want to share the feedback from your room?
Yeah, sure. So there was a point about vulnerable people showing vulnerability, showing their human side, particularly in the whole mental health arena and how important mental health is now within the sort of, I suppose, the business world. Layout of posts is considered to be quite important as well. I think you highlighted that earlier. Personal posts, things that you like, things that you're interested in. Could be music, could be sport, could be anything like that. Those sorts of things people like to jump on because it takes it a little bit away from the businessy element to it. And there was a point made about different types of how to attract comments from people. So you have a call to question, a call to response, a call to think, and a call to reflect, which was quite unusual. I've not heard of that one before. So that's a really nice one.
Would you put all of that in the one post? So call to question, call to response.
I think it would probably be done in individual, in
individuals. So so one is a call to question, one is I love that. Yeah, really, really nice idea. Instead of a classic call to action, thinking about it as a call to respond or a call to interact. I like that. And I've also seen people say use the emojis. So if you think number 1, use the light bulb emoji. If you think number 2, use the like. If you think number 3, use the care emojis, because there's like 4 emojis you can use, and they use that as a bit of a way of doing a poll, but that kind of hacks people liking your post, which is super clever. Really like that, Steve. Cool. I'm going to take got Jason and then one other person that we're looking for to feedback. Remember, guys, after this, we're going to give you an opportunity to book in for a free one-to-one LinkedIn profile audit with me. So do hang around for that. Jason, over to you.
Yeah, let me unmute first. Good to see Mike Stevenson there. Haven't seen you in a while. And it's his birthday today. So
Yes.
happy birthday,
It
Mike.
was his birthday today. Yeah.
I thought
yeah,
I'd
or still
embarrass
is.
him by that. Yeah, from the group, first thing was discussed about testimonials. The more testimonials that you get, the more social proof that you have for the work that you do. So speak to colleagues, people that you've had on your workshops or your coaching or whatever it might be, add those onto your profile. Next thing is anyone that comments onto your posts, and I just got one now which prompted me, is connect with them and go, thank you for liking my post. Really good engagements on people that, especially if they're 2 degrees of separation. And another thing is write something that is true. Like I did another ultra marathon last week, and I tie it back into the work that I do. Number one, it's a bit of a prompt, but there's also something else that I've done: resilience, guts, all the other things that I do in my business and work life. So it's a good link back in. So I like to put true pictures up. That's me. But then I do other things like newsletters and so on and so forth. But lots of other ideas from the group as well, by adding people's names in or company names in to bring them into the conversation as well, as you already suggested, Richard.
Fantastic. Love that, Jason. And congratulations on the ultra marathons. In fact, 11 o'clock today, I'm signing up for the Marathon des Sables. So that will be my next challenge. So I'll have to get your tips on how to run far for a long time.
It's 50K rather than 42. So that's what I did.
Nice. Well, it's bloody good. Right. So have we got the final group of that? We haven't done it. No, we've had Leslie, Steve, and Jason. So if you're in the 4th group, think about it. If as you're thinking about it, tell you what I'll do. I'll open up, and so I'm still looking for a volunteer to do that. Before I do that, let me just give you an opportunity. So many of you guys might have seen within LinkedIn for Breakfast, or I just put together a LinkedIn profile review where I went over Marcin's profile because he asked to someone to go over his profile and have a look at it. So I did a bit of a video overview of the tips and help and ideas. So if you want to see what it actually looks like to have a LinkedIn profile review, you can see there. But I also then open my diary because I do this one-to-one. So when we do this one-to-one, I can sit there, I can talk to you, you can ask me questions, and I can go through things like how do you get more testimonials on your profile? Should you put the services onto your profile? How do you actually write your headline? How do you write your about section, not as a glorified CV, but as a sales letter? How should your header image look like? So we go through all of that one-to-one. And so Joey and I do that for everybody here who wants one. And so if you haven't booked one yet, and there's only, I think, oh yeah, one's already gone. So there's 2 left, believe it or not. So if you don't catch one of these last 2, and guys, therefore, so if you have to be a business owner, because otherwise it wouldn't be a relevant review for you. So that's gone in the chat there now for you. So there's only 2 spaces left for the rest of the month. And let me just check. I think that might be it. I'm not sure if there's anything in July. Okay, cool. So we got Monday and Tuesday, but not masses. So you're looking the 2nd of Tuesday, which is when the next body. So if you want to have your profile review, if you want to have it against our criteria of actually what makes a great LinkedIn profile, and a load of swipe files that I give to people who do that review, then jump into there and grab that link now. Good stuff. Right. So Larissa, over to you. Do you want to share the feedback from group 4? You're muted. You're unmuted now. Perfect.
Hi guys. Yes, so I think the 2 main ideas that came out of our group, one was about spiky comments, if I've explained that properly. So kind of like to spark reactions, opinionate, opinions. So apparently that was in the HR space, and where they've seen success with putting an opinion forward and getting a reaction to it. And then the second thing, something that I just mentioned, was I've seen, and I quite liked, it was about people that are looking for referrals. and they
Yeah.
made it quite exciting in terms of LinkedIn, because sometimes LinkedIn can be a very serious space at times. But it was a very good way to kind of like, they put a competition forward, lots of prizes, and that was getting some traction this morning when I saw it with regards to winning some very real prizes on referring. So it was something about health and safety, and it made me think, oh crikey, I've got a couple of businesses that might be interested in this. I'd quite like an Elastic Warner's voucher for next weekend, so let's see if I can win something on here. So they were the two things that came across amongst some other comments.
I like it. So they were giving away prizes for referrals into their business. So asking their network to refer other clients that might need their help, and then you're entered into a prize for it. Wow.
That's it. And then it announced the winners in kind of like a very Trustpilot, lots of stars way, which was quite interesting. I just thought, oh, that's a nice way to do it. It made the prizes accessible as well. So that was quite cool.
Fantastic. I love that. Really, really great idea and nice thinking outside the box. And there's some lovely thoughts there, guys. And thank you all for sharing. So I'm happy to stick around for 5-10 minutes if people have got further things that they would like to share or questions they would like answered. If you're shooting off, please remember to do jump in. I'll put the link into the chat one more time. Do grab yourself one of those final LinkedIn profile audits. As I say, they're completely for free, and we don't have unlimited space because obviously I don't have unlimited time. So make sure you snag your profile audit before they will go. Leslie's saying all dates and times are gone now. So you're probably looking, let's just have a quick look to make sure. You're probably, let's just refresh. You're probably looking at those July dates. Yeah, that June's gone now. Have we got anything? Oh, well, there you go. July's gone. So if you have missed out, if you've missed out, ask in the group. So I could either try and get a video one done for you, or I'll try and privately arrange something for you later in July. And actually each day that goes past, there might be some other ones that might cancel or change, etc. So do keep your lookout for it. But I'm looking forward to doing those reviews with you guys. Cool. So back into the room, I had a question in the chat around actually the SSI score. So I'm happy to take further questions. Doesn't have to all be around the profile review. And one of them was around, should we have a LinkedIn premium profile to be able to increase our SSI score? And actually it does make a difference. You do get an increase in volume of or the increase in your SSI score because of that, because of having premium. So it's a bit naughty, but it's true. So that's definitely worth having a look at and having an edit on that. So yes is the answer to that. That does increase your SSI. It's not compulsory. Obviously your SSI isn't, you know, doing masses for you, but it does help to increase it. Lyndon, over to you.
Hi, everybody. Just a simple question about the difference between a post, which you can post from your profile, and an article that you can write from the main menu. Okay, what's the difference and what's the impact of those two things?
So really interesting. So posts versus articles. Now, a post tends to have better reach, better engagement than an article does. I'm not sure why, but you've got to post, you've got to create a post to share an article as well. That's the other thing. You've got to share your article. And now articles have benefits that are outside of just being on the feed, which obviously a post would have a head start by getting more engagement. An article can become a newsletter. So you post an article, you press the button to say share with my newsletter, and then bam, that goes out to all the newsletter subscribers via email sent by LinkedIn. So the deliverability is very good of that. And we've got a whole session within the classroom, within the school group on LinkedIn newsletters. So if anybody doesn't know how to set one of those up, check inside the classroom. And the other point about a newsletter that's very good is that it's also findable by Google. So it's SEO optimized. It's one of the few things, your profile page and articles are the few things that LinkedIn allow the spiders, the Google bots, to actually index in their search criteria. So if someone's looking for a particular subject, they may find your article on a normal Google search because LinkedIn actually allows that. So it's got an SEO distribution benefit to be able to find non-LinkedIn traffic to the article and then into your profile. Same if someone Googles your name. If you Google your name, it might be your LinkedIn profile that's the top thing on there because your profile also is indexable by Google. So that's the benefit. Kind of internally, if you want your stuff to do well, post it. Externally, if you want to do well, article it, because that can go into people's inboxes via the newsletter or into the search criteria via Google. So a blend, like everything. Videos, articles, posts, live, they've got the live audio stuff, you know, going live on video. Blend your media because they have different benefits in different ways. We're currently live now. So it's you can blend that media. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Loads on that. Well, look, guys, we are head and shoulders above time. So I'm going to love you all, say thank you. Thanks for everybody jumping onto those calls. Do tell me how you thought the session was in the school group. And I look forward to seeing you guys on a profile audit or next Wednesday, 9 o'clock on the dot. Big love. Take care. See you on the flip side.
Thank you.